XRP and Bitcoin going to shock the world the next 6 years? You should be preparing because the banks are. Remember, when they tell you to look this way, there's always another narrative going on this way. What is actually happening is nothing new under the sun. In the Roman days, they had us drunk in the Colosseum, as they brought the Trojan horse in. They were clipping your coins, and the first annuity was in the Roman days. The game has always been the same. The scenery just looks a little bit different. We're now finishing up 2017, the 50-year Jubilee, which in the Bible is usually a debt reset. It's not where they're going to come reset your debt, but they do have to reset the system. You're sitting in a system with an inflationary dollar that's collapsed 97% since the Federal Reserve was created, and you have way more debt than you have income. My income is your debt is my income. The system has to change. And I've been telling people since 2020, banks are going to custody your cryptocurrency. We were ridiculed, we were mocked, we were made fun of. And now I'm going to show you the facts, figures, numbers, logic. The banks are preparing for cryptocurrency. It is here to stay. Bitcoin and XRP will be number 1 and number 2. And again, this channel is all about authenticity. I'm only sharing with you exactly what I'm doing. I'm not qualified to tell you what to do, but I am qualified to tell you exactly what I'm doing and to take you on my journey. So as I take you through this, I'm going to show you what Uphold posted yesterday, talking specifically to the XRP army on the news and sharing with you. The newscaster says, you know what? There's no utility, and this gentleman explains it perfectly. I'm going to show you a video straight from the OCC, encouraging banks once again. You're good. It's time to custody cryptocurrency. The water's warm. So where you're at right now is what's called speculation into regulation. Then you're going to head into what's called adoption. That's the first phase. Then you're going to go into early tokenization. And then you're going to go into worldwide tokenization going into 2030. You are so unbelievably early. Buckle up, get prepared, get out of the short-term pain, and build a long-term plan so you can gain. All right, so let's dive right into this. The first video I'm going to show you, Uphold posted cult. Nah. How about passionate group of traders? XRP Army, what do you say? Let's take a look at this. So we're going to watch a couple videos today, so get your pen and paper out, write notes, become stoic, take the middle ground, and let's get after it.
So a leveraged 2 times long XRP ETF. You launched it at a good time because we're seeing this bounce back in the cryptocurrency itself. But who is this for? Who is coming into this ETF in its first 9 or so trading days?
Well, I think the XRP community, they really are a bit of a cult. They are dedicated people, and rightfully so. There are a lot of XRP wallets, I think more than 6 million out there. So we know there's pent up demand to tap into XRP in a more traditional Wall Street wrapper. Now, it's not so traditional that you go with leverage. That's the point. But this specific product is geared towards traders who have a short-term view, to primarily 1 day view of what XRP's price moves might be. This allows them in a traditional brokerage account to achieve leverage without a margin account. We believe in XRP. We're not making a price prediction, but we do believe it's a coin that will have the most utility out there. Bitcoin is a store of value. I agree with Mike McGlone, but I think that XRP has a true use case. There's just no doubt about it. And the Ripple team, from the interaction we've had with them, they're really professional. They act like investment bankers over there. They know what they're doing, and they will make this work. And we will see a different Wall Street. We will see traditional finance be merged slowly with DeFi, DeFi, yes. And then we will see DeFi take over. It'll take longer than people think. I'm convinced of it, but it will be so much more efficient. And, 3 to 5 second settlement, which is what Ripple can do. That's amazing.
I want to dig in specifically on the use case that you mentioned, because a lot of folks watching probably would have the reaction. The only use case for Ripple and some of these other tokens out there is speculation. So what is the actual use case of XRP?
Okay, so XRP, that's absolutely not the case. You can speculate in it because it's out there and trading. But XRP, they started Ripple, and I'm not going to speak for them, okay? But they started Ripple to facilitate transactions, moving money around. Okay, but now it's literally helping tokenize everything as they develop their level 2 build out. They are really going to tokenize everything. They've just bought a broker dealer clearing member, as you may know, and I think that that's the first step toward integrating traditional finance with DeFi. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a breakthrough. It is a breakthrough, but it'll happen slower than people think.
Okay, so the 2x levered ETF with exposure to XRP. What's in the pipeline? What's next?
We have filed for an inverse. We'll see what investor demand is, but we'll see. I mean, we were the first to get a 33 Act Bitcoin fund approved, as you.
Okay, so that he explained it beautifully, guys. XRP is not your traditional cryptocurrency, guys. It's the only one with clarity. Ripple is the only company that can get banks up and running right now. They have literally beat the SEC. I am extremely bullish on XRP. Okay. Ripple is going to tokenize everything. Okay. BlackRock has been huge advocate for this. Head of digital assets, starting off the intern at Ripple 2017. You connect the dots. So that was the video. Actually, I was just going to show you that twice. Sorry about that. Okay, so then we're going to go here to the OCC. This is operation. Let me go back and show you this real quick so you can see what I'm talking about here. How do I stop sharing here? Oh, if I go here, okay, this is the OCC's Twitter page. The OCC has confirmed certain crypto-related activities are legally permissible and expects banks conducting these activities to do so with appropriate risk. They are good to go, guys. Let's get the message straight from the horse's mouth.
Digital assets are firmly ingrained in the financial services landscape.
Firmly ingrained.
Today, more than 50 million people own cryptocurrency, and hundreds of businesses engage in cryptocurrency and require banking services. National banks and federal savings associations are well positioned to support crypto asset activities from within the federally regulated banking sector. I'm pleased that recently the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency clarified that certain crypto-related activities, including crypto asset custody, holding deposits as reserve backing stablecoins, and using distributed ledger technology and stablecoins for payment activities are all legally permissible.
Legal.
The OCC also confirmed its expectation that banks conducting novel crypto activities do so with appropriate risk management processes in place.
Now that's key. Okay, I'm going to explain that in just a moment.
This action reduces regulatory burden, encourages responsible innovation, and enables banks to leverage new technology and innovative ways to serve their clients and customers. To learn more, visit
OCC.com. Okay, so now I'm going to show you this video. Once again, I like to show things over and over and over again to remind you guys. This was 7 years ago. Trump talking about the even playing field monetarily.
So we had a very, very good talk last night and discussed a lot of subject. It was a long talk, and we are working on that as we speak. We have conversations with various representatives of China. I believe that will all work out very well for everybody: China, Japan, the United States, and everybody in the region. As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field, because that's the only way it's fair. That's the only way that you can fairly compete in trade and other things.
Okay, so this is really important. I want to break that down. What he's saying right there is he does not like that the American dollar crushes other currencies. He is a businessman. I'm a businessman. Competition is very good for business. True business leaders embrace competition. Politicians with personal interest want power. Okay. Business people want to empower innovation and competition. That's how growth happens. It's organic. Okay. What he's saying right there is exactly what he's doing 7 years later. The tariffs creates even playing field. Are you good at producing goods and services? Number two is he's working to weaken the dollar. He's going to force Jerome Powell to lower rates, or he's going to get rid of them. And number three, what that's going to do is when the dollar weakens, why do you think They're creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's deflationary. It's flipped from the old archaic system. Darkness is coming to light. The system is broke. You have to move to a deflationary asset. You have to move to a fixed supply. You have to create innovation. We have to get rid of politicians that went to Harvard that have never run a business, that have no idea how to run an economy. So yes, it's going to be a bumpy road, just like if parents got divorced, right? You go from one extreme to the other, and then finally the dust will settle. And I think it's going to settle probably around going July into August. You're going to start to see the tariffs start to settle. Now, he has a year to do this before midterms, guys. That's why you're seeing he went all in. He knows that he has to get as much implemented as humanly possible within the first 6 months of his presidency. Okay. That is key. He has to move fast. He has to move swiftly, but he's moving very strategically, very strategically. He had 4 years to sit on this. 4 years. This was his plan 4 years ago. And what they did is they set him up with a lob ball, because what they did is they turned the printing machine on full blast and they enriched themselves dramatically. And invert this. When he did the tariffs, it hurt the wealthy. 10% of the population owns 80%. The top 10% of the population, wealthiest people in the world, own 80% of the market. The tariffs hurt the wealthy. But the left is making you think, the news is making you think that he's attacking the middle class and working class. The middle class and working class are going to be in the best position they've ever been in the next 3 years. And this will never, ever happen again, where the middle class and working class has the opportunity to be strategic, to be stoic, and to invest in the infrastructure of the new financial system. So here's exactly how I did it. Okay, we'll start with 2020 to 2022, and I have a lot of education videos coming out to share with you for free how I did all this. Okay, now again, I'm only qualified to tell you what I've done. I became a millionaire in crypto and a millionaire outside of crypto and built millionaire ecosystems. Okay, I put my money where my mouth is. Bitcoin, I'm using as gold. Okay, I'm not touching it. I will never sell my Bitcoin. Recently, I just leveraged it. I went to Salt. I have no affiliation with them. Salt's been around since 2016, I think it is. I did a 14% loan, LTV, took tax-free money. I bought an insurance brokerage. That insurance brokerage is going to pay it off in the next 12 months. I'll only borrow against my assets if I can buy something that generates cash. Think about that. I richest man in Babylon. I pulled tax-free money. I bought my brokerage. 12 months that'll be paid off. Be back at 100% LTV. My Bitcoin will be a whole again, and I'll have a cash generating asset for the rest of my life. Okay, that's what I'm using Bitcoin for. It's a bank for my family. Okay, all other cryptocurrencies, to include XRP, I am going to exit some of my XRP. I was buying it since 17 cents because I have a strict plan outside of cryptocurrency. I don't believe you should be all in on one asset class. I think that's foolish. I think that you should diversify to remove volatility. I use the risk pyramid. I pull money down the risk pyramid when I exit my 50% altcoins. I'm going to be stuffing my insurance policies that still need to be max funded, cash value life insurance. It's what the wealthy do. They use insurance. So I'm stacking my money. I have a family bank with my insurance. I have a family bank with my cryptocurrency. Now I have two things that I can leverage tax free to buy more assets. From there, a little bit more silver. I'm currently getting into the real estate game for tax liabilities, for depreciation. That's the next level of the tax planning for myself and my family. I have 6 companies which create cash flow. You don't need cash is trash. Okay. You need cash flow. So the businesses, what I did with 2020 to 2022 is I took the profit and I created cash flow. I didn't buy material. I bought cash flow. I invested in companies. We scaled the companies, and when the companies scaled, I transmuted it back into deflationary assets like Bitcoin and XRP and other cryptocurrencies. When we profited in 2024, when Trump came in, I pulled some off the top. I put it into dividend ETF strategies, which multiplied my money, pays me monthly dividends. I de-risk back into deflationary assets like Bitcoin and XRP. I am focused on cash flow, not buying houses, Lambos, cars, and watches. I'm focused on freedom. You should be working on creating cash flow. That should be your number one focus right now. You don't need 2 cars. You don't even need a car payment. If you make $100,000 a year, you shouldn't have a car that costs more than $10,000 if you have a personal car. We've been manipulated and we're trapped in this debt-based society. If you make $1 million, you should not have $1 million home. That's not how it should work. The problem is, think about it. A group of bankers are sitting there And they're like, wait a minute. Okay, we get to take their deposits and we get to lend it to the next person walking in. It's not even our money. And let's do this, the American dream. Let's give them 30-year mortgages. And I'll just move Bobby's money over to Susie and I'll charge him interest for it. That's crazy. Then they'll say, you know what? I'm going to give Susie's money to Jim walking in. I'm going to lend Susie's money to Jim walking in. And I'm going to give Jim a 74-month auto loan. And they're sitting back and collecting interest. If we paid off all the debt in America, the system would collapse. There is no money in the system. We first have to learn how to create cash flow. Cash is trash. Why would you store cash in a bank that has 3% purchasing power? If you have $100,000, so in the bank, you have $30,000 in purchasing power. So why wouldn't you transmute that into something that's deflationary? So if you're not bullish on cryptocurrency, fine. Precious metals, silver is undervalued. You can get into gold. It's at an all-time high right now. Get into real estate. At least it holds its value, and you can continue to, get a renter, and every month you're getting your equity is going up and your wealth is increasing. Right? There's a lot of things. Insurance protects your principal, right? The wealthy use insurance. You can retire tax-free, things like that. There's a lot of things you can do, but we have to open up our mind and awareness because the old system is broken. Going to school, getting a job, and having a 401k is not going to work anymore, guys. It's just not going to work. Okay. We have to start to think more innovatively. We have to start thinking about our future. We have to start creating a budget. We have to start getting back to grounding. We have to get back to debts and non-negotiables. Stop buying things to impress people we don't even like. Create cash flow because we want freedom. We want financial freedom, freedom of time, freedom of choice. And we have 6 years to do this. Very critical. Okay. All right. So big warning. I'm not DMing you about your crypto. We do not have QFS accounts or a scam. That's not us. They're using our likeness and image. I do not have a trading platform. I don't invest people with crypto. I'll never proactively DM you about your crypto. Okay. We will proactively respond to messages. And this is my only ecosystems here. I'm going to show you this every time to protect you from scammers. I have a free book, which is a Warrior's Guide to Financial Freedom. Everything I just talked about, I have it broken down in a free automatic download. Okay, I have a Revive retreat. We have a spiritual retreat coming up. We have our financial retreat in the beginning of the year, and we have our spiritual retreat coming in the back end. If you want to hang out with me live in a 40,000 square foot cabin, going back to grounding, there you go. Coach JV Academy. It's a worldwide academy, over 11,000 people worldwide since 2020. Subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision creation. We teach you how to fish. We don't give you a fish. Example portfolios, entry plans, exit plans, showing you how we do it, and then you get to choose your decisions. It's teaching you how to fish. Okay. We have live workshops with me as well. You can set up a free discovery call with my team to find out about my live workshop, where you can work live with me, where I take you through the step-by-step process. I hold your hand, I walk with you, I teach you how to fish. And I also have my own brokerage where we can teach you about cash value life insurance, annuities, having income for life, how to protect your family, how we set up our systems in regards to creating family banks. We have a whole team in all 50 states to help you with that. That's specifically around insurance. Okay. That's a free consultation as well. I have a how to create a free exit strategy. You hear me talking a lot about exit strategies. I am the co-founder and creator of Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. I have a men's coaching program where I help men get their shit together around stoic principles and how I became so stoic and calm, and my exact 4-month plan on how I built my family ecosystem and how I live the life that I live. I also have Refined Integrity. You see these gear, people email me all the time. I have my own clothing line. And media requests. So those are our ecosystems. That's it. Everything else is a scam. Be very, very careful out there. I love you guys. I appreciate you. So that's the description of the video. If you're on social watching this, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, just click the link and beware of scammers. We do not invest people's crypto. You'll never send anybody on my team crypto. So we love you guys. Stay safe out there. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.